The story of Abram entering Canaan is often told in a single sentence. But hidden in Genesis 12 are details most readers never notice, details that reveal how God shaped Abram's faith long before he became the father of nations. Today you'll hear three untold stories: the journey across the land, the altars he built, and Rui he called on the name of the Lord. When Abram stepped into Canaan, he didn't settle right away. He walked mile after mile across hills, valleys, and ancient roads. Most people imagine he simply arrived, but the Bible quietly reveals a deeper truth. God led Abram through every corner of the land before he ever let him live in it. From the northern ridge of Shechem to the highlands between Bethel and Ai, Abram walked the width of the land twice, and with every step, God was mapping out the borders of the future nation of Israel. It wasn't random wandering, it was a guided tour of a promise no one else could see yet. This journey was long, quiet, and unnoticed by the world, but heaven was marking every footprint. Abram's first stop was Shechem, a city filled with pagan shrines and idols towering over the valley. And what did Abram do? He built an altar, not on neutral ground, but right in the center of Canaanite worship. From there, he moved to the hills between Bethel and Ai, another hot spot of pagan activity. And again, he built an altar. These altars weren't just personal devotion. They were public declarations that the God of heaven is present here, that this land belongs to him. Long before Joshua or David, long before Israel marched into the land, Abram planted the first spiritual flags. He wasn't just traveling, he was claiming territory for the God the nations did not know. Genesis 12:8 says Abram called on the name of the Lord. But this phrase carried weight in ancient Hebrew. It didn't mean quiet prayer. It meant a public proclamation of who God is. In a land filled with dozens of gods, each tied to a city, a hill, or a river, Abram stood on foreign soil and declared the name of Yahweh for all to hear. He became the first public preacher of God in Scripture. Before prophets, before priests, before temples, Abram proclaimed God's identity in a land that had never heard his name. This was the beginning of a nation's spiritual story, one man speaking the truth to a land of idols. From long journeys across an unknown land, to building altars in the shadow of pagan shrines, to publicly declaring God's name in a culture that didn't know him. Genesis 12 holds more than a move, it holds the blueprint of Abram's faith. And each step, each altar, each declaration echoes through the history of Israel and into the lives of everyone who walks by faith today.